Oh, one more thing about Kasich. He told reporters in New Hampshire last Friday that he has the answer on how to reduce mass shootings. Yes, he does. Death penalty. Kasich voted for a federal assault weapons ban as a Republican congressman 2 decades ago, but he didn't want to answer when he asked what steps Washington should take in the wake of the massacre at Umpquah College in Oregon. He told a bunch of journalists, quote, "I don't believe that gun control would stop this," end quote, but he thinks the death penalty will. Has no one informed Mr. Kasich, Mr. Governor, that most of these mass shooters commit suicide after they have killed as many people as they can kill? I mean, doesn't he understand that? So his answer to the mass killings is death penalty. Now, obviously, that's not going to stop the mass killings. If the shooter can be caught and executed, oh, okay, yawn, that means nothing, does it? It means absolutely nothing, does it? It really doesn't. But Kasich's answer, I mean, his true Republican colors shine through. He did say, quote, "I don't think any president can stop mass shootings. And again, I think that all of these places that are soft targets need to be hardened." Ooh, military talk. "My own state," he went on, "as I've said, it's frustrating to see some school districts not taking it seriously. These are terrible tragedies. We need to find out more about who this person is. If this person had mental illness, they should never have had a weapon. That's the rules." So the Kasich's attitude about the death penalty is more than curious, given that more than half of the perpetrators of mass shootings over the last 3 decades committed suicide. And that number goes up if you consider the so-called suicide by cop. And anyway, Ohio's death penalty process is flawed beyond belief. Last spring, according to Mother Jones, a federal judge placed a 7-month moratorium on all executions in the state after a lethal injection, so-called, left a convicted killer writhing on his deathbed for 25 minutes. And on last Thursday, an Ohio court struck down an inmate's death sentence, citing flaws in the state case. Look, the death penalty cannot work unless there was some sort of federal standard, federal law. I went through this last week. I hesitate to go through it again. But if there is not proof beyond a reasonable doubt, no, not that, proof beyond any doubt, absolute proof that somebody committed a particularly horrific murder, if that were the case, I might be able to support, at least in theory, the death penalty, although I've been against it for so long. When I first came out against the death penalty 30 years ago in talk radio, it didn't take long, maybe 5 minutes, before somebody here in Atlanta called in and said, "Well, what if they killed your little boy up there sitting on your lap?" Chris was about 5 years old at the time. I used to take him to work because I was a single parent, didn't have a babysitter, so I took him with me. "What would you do then, Mr. Anti-Death Penalty?" And the guy got to me, so I just said, "Look, let me put it this way, Mr. Caller. I wouldn't have to worry about the death penalty, pro or con, because if somebody murdered my 5-year-old son here, he would never even make it to a trial." "Oh, so you're going to kill him, huh?" "Goodbye, sir." Click.